Right. So we'll start with first announcement. And again, for recording purposes, I'm just saying it once more, that for all sections now, both of the like classes, for example, this section ZBB where we are right now, you have one session, which is live session, which we have, like we interact in that session. It's on Wednesday today. And I have announced, like, the Friday session was an online session. So still that would be an online session, but your attendance will be marked on that day. So please join on that time. Like it's I think its timing is around 4:15. So you have to join that. And so secondly, there will be test. Of course, there's every week there is a test. So there will be a test, of course, also. And the third thing is that, as I said, if any one of you has a problem in related to previous test, related to any previous assignment, any question, you will be asking those questions over there. So I hope I made this point clear. And it's not only for ZBB section. So if you are one from NBB or you are from ZEE section and you are listening to this again in the video, please be reminded that your both session will also be will also held as I've given the explanation for ZBB section. So I hope that that's all clear to everyone. So it would be an asynchronous class still, but of course, as I said, I would be there. I would be taking attendance. I would be, maybe discussing about the test, or maybe I will be having discussion with students who are having any problems in any of the areas. Is that clear to everyone? At least at this in this session, we have 9 students joined in, like we are 10 together, including myself. So can I get a response? Bhavya, thank you.
Sir, may I have a question?
Yeah, yes, son. Go ahead.
You mean on Friday? You mean this session is still opened?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice.
So son, listen. So Friday, I will be online in this session, like our meeting, and I would be there. And as I said, I would mark attendance, and I would be there for some time again, discussing some problems. If you have some, for example, you are not sure about your test, some test, you are not sure about your assignment or something, you have any problems, I will be discussing those problems on that day. So that makes sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So class will be still, the lecture will be still there as a video, but surely I will be there to discuss your problems. So this is, as I said, if you are from any other section looking at this video lecture, definitely it's for all sections. And I'll put that, as I said, I'll put that as an announcement on course shell, announcement on Teams. And I'm really surprised to know, today I was just looking at the list, so there are few students who have not even bothered to join the Teams. And of course, they have never joined the class session as well. So no problems, but I would be just marking their absence, and of course they might not be able to. I don't know what Seneca would do with them, because I will just report all of them to Seneca that they are not attending. So again, you are all the names that I see, you are always there in the class mostly. So please be there on Friday, because as I said, I would be just marking in attendance, and you will definitely need to be there. Okay, so let's start our today's topic, and I'll just start from, we are already recording, so I'll start from last week's a bit of review. Let's talk about a bit of review of last week. I'm expecting that you are looking at my Visual Studio Code, Kush, Visual Studio Code of last week. The second session that we had, right? So this was the last session that we discussed, and if you have seen, of course, the week 5 part 2 lecture that I shared as a video with you, of course, you would have seen that we have discussed so many interesting things, how to embed media, images, and videos, and audio. I just left for the students. Then we talked about how to do emphasis, how to do quotations or codes, how to do this super and subheadings, because H2O or something like that, if you have seen that, how to write code in HTML, because that should look like a code, not only for the visibility, but also the code should be written for screen readers or something that comes here and read the screen, read your code and knows, okay, this is the code over here. Anyhow, Abbreviations we have talked about, that HTML, when it is displayed on the page, it would just show that when I take my cursor, it will show hypertext markup language. If I take my cursor to CSS, so ABBR abbreviation was the tag element that we talked about. Then we have a date and time tag, a date and time like time tag over there, time element that shows. So for example, if whatever, so it was 10th February, so I've just given that date on that. Then I said that time has some attribute. One of the attribute is date time, where you can just mention some other date time. So I said yesterday. Yesterday means February 9th, and then I said tomorrow. So tomorrow means that we were talking about the 11th February, like that, right? So these are the time. Then we talked about address. Then we talked about H2. Then we said that there is a paragraph tag and lorem ipsum that we have discussed, and we can just try to make these paragraph and things like that. So what I feel is that we have covered some interesting facts and some interesting things over there. And what I'll do today you'll find some very interesting things, because I would be just running up with some interesting things. So today we'll talk about some of the element types in HTML. So this was our week 5, by the way. Now I'll go to my week 6. Like again, I'll create a new folder, and that would be our week 6 folder. Week 6. And in week 6, I'll be just creating my files over there. So it's all brand new. And here again, as previously I've done, I'll just put up the notes over here, note.txt, where we'll be putting up our notes. And I'll create an HTML file as well shortly, but let's first of all talk about few very important things. So let's talk about HTML element types. This is a very interesting fact, because now we know that we have got certain HTML elements that we can use for different purposes. There are different purposes of HTML elements. Now we are talking about HTML element types. Now, there are two types of HTML elements. One of them are called, block level elements, right? And the other one are called inline elements. So they're very interesting, and you know about them, but I will be just telling you that what are those block level elements and inline elements. Now, what do we mean by block level elements? Block level elements are those elements that create a block and do not allow anything after them. And I'll give you examples. So there are certain tags that never allow you to put anything after them. They will also push that. They will always push that element towards the next line. They will never allow anything on their own line. You know what I mean? So they never allow. So they're called block level elements. And what are inline elements? They create inline content again and allow other elements after them. Now, let's create an HTML file and see what do we mean. I'll create an index again, as we have this tradition of creating this index.html. Let's create an index.html, and let's talk about, I'm talking about HTML element types. So let's talk about that. And inside body, let's talk about some of the elements. Now I'm writing an element. For example, if I write h1 and I write I am a block level element, right? And after that h1, I write a p paragraph. I am also a block level element. I'm also a block level element. Now let's run this document and I'll show you what I mean. So if you see here, let me just make it side by side. If you see here, when I just wrote down this h1 and then I wrote down paragraph, you see that h1 is not allowing paragraph to flow after that one. Is that making sense to everyone? It's not allowing this p to come over here. Even if I ask about this p, if I talk about this p, for example, let's leave p. Let's put a a simple text over here. So I'll just put a simple text. I am a simple text. So you see that this simple text is not appearing after this H1. You know what I mean? It's not allowing anything. This element H1 is not allowing anything after that. Now, this kind of element that does not allow any content to flow after that, they are called block level element. They create a block of themselves. So they have a block. They have one line above, one line down, which they will never allow anything to run after them. Does that make sense to everyone? Now, it means that if someone does not allow any content after that, it's basically a block level element or a block level tag or something like that. You can just call it. Now let's talk about some elements which are not block level. So let me just say, for example, if I ask you, yes, I am a simple text. I want to just, rather let's write something. I am linked to Google. Now I want to link this Google to for example, to google.com. So what I'll do, you remember, we will create an ahref, https www.google.com. Now I'll put this Google inside this one. And let's write something else. And I allow contents after me. Now let's see what will happen. So do you see that I have created this one line and I'm just writing I am linked to ahref. So this A element, A tag, you see, this is an A element. Do you notice that this A element is allowing text to flow after that one? Are you getting that? So it means that this A element, this A, which is an element, it's not a block level element, it's an inline element, and it always embeds into a content and it never disallows any content to run after that one. What do I mean? Let's see. I'll show you another example. I am a paragraph. So I am a paragraph. I'll make a paragraph over here. I am a paragraph and I, and then after I'm writing that, I won't allow anything after me. So see here. Do you see that it says I am a paragraph, and you see that paragraph and I, it has just done what? It has pushed every element after that, like, the won't allow, it has just pushed that ahead. And not only that one, it has pushed its previous content also one line above. So this P is also a block level block level element. But you see that ahref was not a block level element. You know what I mean? And same goes with another element. So if I put an element image, you remember image SRC. So let's say abc.jpg, which is not here. I'll bring that picture. So I want to place a picture, and not only I want to place a picture, after picture, I want to put some text. I am also very kind and allow content. So pictures are also like that. So let's see. You see, even though picture is not there, let me bring one picture over here, because I would definitely want to show you something. Let's bring up a picture. And lecture goals, week 5, do a picture. Yes, we have an ABC picture. So I'll copy that and I'll paste that in week 6 folder. So you can see that I've just pasted an ABC picture over here. ABC, oh, it's a video. I'm sorry. I don't want a video here. It was a video that I used in the previous one. Let me see if I have any picture. Definitely I should have. Yes, this is the tree JPG. Control C and week 6, Control V. So you see that I have a tree.jpg. So now, rather than ABC, I write tree.jpg. You see, and let's make it width a bit smaller. So do you see that what's happening? IMG is also, even though IMG is creating a picture, but do you see that after IMG, it is allowing the content to flow after that one? Is that making sense to everyone? This is a very important concept, and I want you to understand that. Other than Kush, is anyone else understanding this one? You understand? So this is called, these are called those elements which run through content and do not disallow any content after them. They are called inline elements. And those contents, these are which do not allow anything to run after them. They are called block level elements. I hope that makes sense. Now what I'll do is that I'll just cut this all code and I'll place this in my notes just for your reference. And again, you will know that what I'm talking about. So this is the code from HTML, because I don't want to mess my HTML document. I have to work something else on that one. So now contents have gone. Now after that, let's have a for discussion purpose. There are two very important generic tags that we use, generic elements that we use. So a generic grouping elements. So to group something, we use two elements. Generic grouping elements. Number one is basically div. Very important. We use div a lot in our programs, in our HTML code. The second one is span. Now listen about that. This div, it's a block level generic grouping element. You know what I mean? So it's a block level grouping general, general grouping element. And what is span? It is inline element to apply specific something. I'm just writing my own English, something like that. So typically this div will create a block and span will not create a block. Now let's come over here. And I say, for example, let's make a div. I create a div and I write something inside this div. I say, for example, h1. I am a div. I am inside a div. Right? And let's give a paragraph here. Lorem. Just for nothing. So you see here that I have created this div. And this div, even though if I write something over also over here, I am after div. So if I save that, you see that div is not allowing it. So div is basically effectively, div is that complete box, which is invisible box over here. So actually what is happening is that this div is creating a generic block. And if I want to do something else, I will create another div maybe, for example. So if I create another div and I say, for example, h1, h1, I am another div here. Right? And again, take a paragraph and I say a lorem. Oh, right, so lorem. So you see here, I am another div here. So now div what? Div does what? Div basically creates a different sections of our HTML document. Is that making sense to everyone? So div is very important. And what about span? Now span is another very important one. And I'll give you one example, very nice example over here, but let's give you. So for example, this lorem, you want to emphasize this text. So you will say, okay, because lorem is here and I want to emphasize that, let's do one thing. Let's create a span over here. Let's create a span over here and take this lorem from this one and paste it over here and save this. And for example, and I'll just tell you how to do that. But let's for example, you say that now this lorem, you see that this first lorem, it's basically coming inside that one. And now I can apply any specific styling on this lorem only. Why? Because this lorem is inside the span tag right now. And span is running in the content. So span is an inline content. I can span anything at all and I can apply any styling or anything that I want. So I can do that span and I can just, maybe put this $m inside this span. So it's a generic inline level container. So I can say that from this point to this point, I want to apply a particular style. I will span them. I want to, from this point to this point, I want to do a particular thing. I will span them. Is that right? So these are two, and please remember these. I will be using these two tags a lots of time. Div is used so many times, and we usually use this so many times. Now, so today what we are doing, I'll just leave this document like this because we have got inline and that discussion and notes. You have got this notes over here as well. So what I'll do, let's open up Wikipedia. Wikipedia.org. And let's maybe create or call or search for cats, because I will be showing you something interesting. So I will take this page and I will try to create its HTML for HTML practice. And by the way, just keep this page with you, because I will be using this same page when we'll be applying styling and we'll be using CSS and styling and everything. I'll be using this page again and again. But right now I will try to just, imitate this page in a way that looks like that how this HTML would be created, or how you would approach to an HTML page when you come across designing or web page, how you will just, work on them. So what I'll do is that I'll create another file, and I might call it Wikipedia.html. So I'll try to create a Wikipedia and I'll try to imitate exactly this document. And by the way, since right now I don't know styling, so I won't be able to just, publish something like exactly like this. But you will see what I am saying, that you will learn a lots of new concepts when I'll just, try to talk about it. So let's start to imitate this document over here. Right? So this Wikipedia.html, first of all, let's create a complete HTML document. And now let's start with this one. What is the title over here? If you see, what is the title? Cat-Wikipedia, and there is a logo as well. Let's just, for the time being, not talk about that logo. So if I say cat-Wikipedia, now cat-Wikipedia, let me run this file so that I can see what I am doing. So do you see that it has started to get resembling this one? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make it as much as near possible, or near to this one possible. Right. Now, think about our HTML semantic elements. You remember we have an element called header. We usually have header that gives the introductory part. Looks like I will consider that might be from this point. You see my cursor? From this logo till this point, this all will be coming inside the header. You know what I mean? So let's consider that this might be my header. Now, come to the body, and here, just start making your header. And for the time being, I'm just writing a header over here, and I'm just leaving this for the time being. So now I'll talk about this, and I'll create all these things. I might be bringing this icon as well over here. But let's see what else I want to do. So first of all, header will come. In header, what I'll do is that I might be placing a logo over here. I might be placing all these things which are coming in this header. And then you remember we have got a main section. Main section is what all main components are appeared over there. So now see here, think about this document. Looks like from this part to this part, this all looks like a header page or header of the page. And this left side, this vertical left side, this all looks like a nav bar. You remember nav? What was the nav? Sang, you remember what was the nav? Or anyone who remembers what was the nav that we talk about? Navigation panel. So this looks like the navigation panel. This looks like the header. So what remains? This looks like my main section, which is over there. And in also that inside that also, this one looks like the main content. The main content. Right? So now let's start talking about this main content. First of all, I'm talking about this only section, the middle section I'm talking about, right? And you will learn a lots of new things inside. So in this main, I think this first heading cat should be H1. So if I put this cat. So you see that I have got this cat. Header is coming over there. I'll talk about header later on. But cat is coming there. So cat was supposed to come over here. Oh, even though of course the font is not correct, and don't worry about that. I'm just talking about right now, just imitating this page. After that, there is a complete line. You see how to bring up line in HTML? Anyone? Not Sung, because Sung has already answered. How to bring up a line like this? The line that you see after cat. How to bring that? HR. It's wonderful. HR. I'll save that one. Let's see. Oh, looks good. Do you see that? It looks good that now it has started to look a bit more like that. Of course, we will never be able to do that. We don't know CSS, but I'm just, we are trying to imitate that one. Now, after that line, there is from Wikipedia, the free side. I'll just copy this one. And maybe I'm just putting that as a simple text, not even or maybe I can put up a paragraph. and I say let's just put that one over there. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. So see, the text is appearing over here. Everyone is making sense of it? Now the interesting part starts. This article is about a species that is commonly kept as pet, cat family. You see that this text is a bit offset from this point, and of course it would be a bit offset from right side. Does anyone remember any tag that I can use to produce this type of thing? This alt text that is appearing over here. Which tag I should copy it from here? Which tag should I use to just implement this one, which is offset from the left side? Does anyone remember any tag from my previous lecture? So there was a tag called block code. If I put all these things inside the block code, see what happens. I just put that in the block code, right? Block code. And I've copied this code from here. Now see here. Do you see that it looks like more like that one? Bhavi, do you realize that it looks very much near to that one? You know, something near to that one. You see, this article looks like this is a bit offset. Block code. Now, I would not leave this block code right now. Why? Because there are some linkings being done. Let's talk about those linkings also. So in this commonly kept as pet for cat family C. felidae, whatever it is there. So if I click on this link, it will be opening up a new link. Oh, Bachita, no, we are not using any style tag right now. Don't worry about the style. Bachita, I'm sorry, but I'm looking at your name for the very first time in this class. I welcome you because I've never seen you before today. Am I right, Bachita? Or did you attend any of the class before? So you're the first time here. Very warm welcome. Right. Anyhow, so that's why you are asking this question, because we have not talked about styling at all, and we will not talk about styling unless we go to CSS, right? Anyhow, so now you see that when I click on this one, it opens up a new link. So I'll copy this link and close this felidae, and you know this felidae, whatever word is there, what is that? It's here. So it should be linked to that particular thing. So I'll come over here and I'll do an anchor tag, and I'll put that link over there. And I will copy this felidae, whatever, inside this one. So I'll cut that over here and I'll just paste that over here. Save that. Now you see that this felidae is also linked, and it's exactly linked to the same page which it is linked. So you see that it's also linked to that one, right? And the same thing is happening over here. Anyhow, so you see. Okay, did I close that one? Oh, I closed my document. So this is my document. So you see that it is also linked to that same thing, which felidae. Okay, Machida, I'll talk about this later on. Right now, let's discuss the topic. Right. So it's basically, you know, felidae, which is over here, and now I have just linked this to this particular thing. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to just imitate all these things. And then this cat disambiguation, this is also linked to some part. I don't know. I'll just copy this one. I'll copy this one. So cat disambiguation, where is that? This one. So where I'll come over here and I'll say, okay. So cat disambiguation, I'll come over here and I'll say, okay, href is equal to the link that I've copied. And what I'll do is that I'll copy this cat disambiguation from here. Let's just cut this from here and put that inside here. You see cat disambiguation is also linked like this. If you see here, like this. Cat disambiguation or cat's disambiguation, whatever, it's also linked over here. Got everyone? Now let's talk about this paragraph. So you can just link like this one, and you know that how to do that. Now let's talk about this first paragraph, which is starting from this the cat and ending at this registries or something like that. I'll copy this paragraph from here and I'll come to my document. After this block code, I'll put a P. You remember paragraph? And I'll put this text over here. Now see here. Now my text is appearing. Exactly the same text which is appearing over here. Right? So it is appearing over here. Now let's talk about something interesting. This cat looks very strong. Oh, sorry. This cat looks very strong word. You see, the cat looks strong. Why not? I should make it strong. Let's go back over here. And the cat, I'll just come over here and I'll say, okay, strong. I want this cat to be strong. Control X, and I'll put that inside that one. Now see here, the cat goes emphasized. Do you see that? I hope you can see that. The cat goes emphasized. Strong. And now if you see that Felis catus, whatever, it's over there. It looks italicized. So you remember, for italicizing in modern HTML, what we do, we use EM, emphasize. So Felis catus will be used as EM. Yes, thank you very much, Bhavi. You're right. So I'll cut that and I'll put that inside this one. So you see that now it has started to look very much like this. Felis catus is just like that same. You see, almost the same. But of course the font is not right, and we know that this is. Anyhow, let's see what else we can do. Is a domestic species. We can create the link, and you know about that. I'm not doing that linking anyhow, but you can do that linking as well. So mammal, after mammal, if you see the dot 1 and 2 are coming at the top. Do you know that how I can make this 1 and 2 at the top? Can anyone tell me how I can take this 1 and 2 at the top? Like top means above the line. Does anyone remember from last lecture? Oh, sorry. Super tag. Do you remember super tag? Anyone? Super and sub. I discussed last week. So if I do that, you see that now it has gone top and looks like it is very near to this 1 and 2, and they are also linked to some part. I'm not linking that, but I can link them as well. So I come over here and I say, so for example, where they are linked to. Let's see. So if I open their link in the new part, for example, new page, so for example, it's opening over here. Let's copy this, no problems. And I'll come over here, and after this sub, I'll come over here and I'll put an A. I'll put an A, and I'll put that link which I copied, and now I'll put this 1 and 2 inside this link as well. Now tell me, is that giving you a good practice of like how you would implement the HTML pages? Of course, you will have to. So you see that both of them are linked. Both of them are linked and linked to the same, exactly the same page. So let's, and you know that now the domestic cat is looking strong again. Let's come back over here. Where is the domestic cat? This is here. So I'll come over here and I'll say, okay, strong. And I want to make strong what? Domestic cat. I'll paste that over here. You see, the domestic cat is also done that. So you can do lots of wonderful. House cat is there, like that. Now I'll just copy one more paragraph to show you, like maybe 1 or 2 more paragraphs. I'll copy another paragraph, and I'll come after this P, and again I'll put a P, and save that. You see, now I have 2 paragraphs. Right? Now let's take one more. Control C and come to this document. After this P, put a P, and now you can just work on that one. So I've got 3 paragraphs over here. So should I hope that you will practice yourself and you will try to imitate everything, like links, etc. Just for your practice, you'll get a lots of practice by doing this one. So you know that this is the paragraph, and I have tried. So again, this is just the main area that we have talked about. We have just talked about the main area till now. Right. Now, if I see that, let's talk about this nav bar as well. So after this, so if this is a nav bar over here, let's talk about this nav bar. So there will be this nav bar will be somewhere after the header. Why? Because usually it is there, and I can. Yeah. Rajan, I'm about to come to that one. I'll talk about that one. So first of all, see, I'm trying to create this one. You see, I'm trying to create this one, Rajan. This linked area. So remember that whenever you are creating these links, we always, you remember I talked about that. We always create an unordered list of bullets we try to create. So li, the first li should contain main page. The second li should contain what? Contents. You look at that. So let's take another li, and this should contain what? Current events. And let's take one more maybe. And what is that? Random article. Now you see here, of course, you know that, or that graphically or shape-wise it will. So you know, I have tried to create this nav bar, and again, this will be job of my CSS to bring this random bar over here. And by the way, remember that I will ask you to do that when we'll be doing CSS. We'll be working on that one. So now we have got this links. We are trying to create these links. So Rajan is right. We have still not talked about the header, but let's talk about another section. So I have talked about this nav. Now you see another section is coming over here. Now HTML5 has introduced a tag which is called aside element. Aside element. Let's talk about this aside element. What is aside element? Let's see. The aside element represents a portion of document whose content is only indirectly related to the document's main content. Asides are frequently present sidebars or call out boxes. So if you see here, this is some extra information for this cat, but it's not directly related to this content. Directly related means if I take out this one, there will be no difference to my article. Article will remain the same. So this kind of information we try to place after that, like for example, you know, before main or maybe, or after that main, we can do that. So after nav, I'll say, okay, I want to have an aside element. Now, what I'll put in aside element, for example, let's consider this will be H2. Remember, because you know, H1 is always the main heading. So main heading, we have already done H1 cat. So I'll do H2 and I can say cat. And because there will be some pictures, so let me just, you know, write down, because we are not, of course, implementing that. So let's put that tree.jpg over here and make it very small. Width is equal to 90 pixels, for example, right? So let's put it 90 pixels, something like that. Now you see here, I'm just trying to create that one. You see that aside has come. Of course, aside is coming over here. It should go to the right side. But again, that all will be done with what? With our. So after that, for example, let's just put up a text over here as well. So I'll just put up a text over here as well. After where is the cat, for example. After that, I'll just put up a tag. And again, img. So you see here what I'll do. So this img allows content to run flow after that. So if I want to make that into new line, I'll use the br tag. You see, now this various types of cat is coming out. So this is my aside element. Aside element or aside, contents are those which are not directly related to the article, but they can be a helpful thing in that article. Now, the last but not least, I would just, so there are lots of things that we can do with the styling. We are not talking about them. Last thing is towards the end, if you go, you will find this type of information, which looks like footer. Right. So what I'll do, I'll just, for example, I'll just copy this all till this point. I'm not copying the links. I can copy the links as well. And I'll come over here. And after that main, I'll say, okay, come over here. Footer. I want to create a footer and I want to paste all those things over here. Now you see this is coming in last I did 11 February 2022. Now that's a very interesting. So see here, if you want to do that semantically understandable, you remember edited on February. So which tag I should use around this time, around this date? What is the tag that I should use? If you remember from my last lecture. So time semantically, yeah, exactly. So semantically we give it time, and time tag has a problem. That time tag is not recognized. So you have to just type it by yourself. So you see 11 at 2020 UTC. So I'll just call all this. And I'll paste this inside time. And you remember there was an element of that one. So I'll say, okay, date time. Date time is an attribute. And I can say, okay, so I can say 11/02-022. And then what is the time over there given? 2020. So I can just, give a space and I say 2020. So now graphically or semantically, both ways, this time is by recorded now. Right. So let's see. After that UTC, we have a new line. So I'll just go after the UTC. And after that UC, I'll just say BR. So you will see that after that UTC, now I am on a new line. And let's see what else we have. Text is under shareable license, etc., etc. There is nothing over there. And then there are certain links that are coming, and I can just copy these links, privacy policy about Wikipedia, and I can just give all these as a links at the very, very bottom. And after this, for example, paragraph, I'll just go over there and I'll put a BR. Sorry, I'll put a BR and just line break over there. The line is broken at that one, and after that, what I'll do, I can just place those links if you want. So what were the links? Privacy policy about Wikipedia. I'll just put two of them. So A, I don't know where it has the link, so I'll just put a hash. So privacy policy, and let's create another one. After, so they are looking for a space, I can just put a forward slash, like a straight pipe, because that will give me a very interesting. If I don't know where to link that, I'll just put a hash over there, and I can just now link to that one, for example, about Wikipedia. And I can typically link them to a typical page which is there. So if you see here, now I'm trying to create that same page. Understood, everyone? So this is footer, this is main, this is aside, this is nav bar. So you see that I am structuring my document. Now the last but not the least, the header is remaining. I'll talk about the header now. How we can just place something in the header. So again, header will also be a so let's come back to the header. So header will have the first thing as the logo. So I'll just write down this logo. Of course, I don't have any logo that I'm just mentioning, but I can just say, for example, the free encyclopedia. So this logo will come. After this logo, if you see that there are certain spaces, and after this you see that there is an article link, there is a talk link, or maybe if you go above that line, so it shows that not logged in, talk, etc., something like that. So I'll just mention that one. So maybe, and by the way, here you will use CSS for styling and everything, but if you want to create non-natural space, you can use NBSP. You can create these spaces with this one. So let me just show you. And I write not logged in. So I write not logged in. So you see here, this NBSP will create some spaces. It's a very few spaces, and again I need to maybe copy some more of them. So that spaces are more. Now I can just add few more things. Logged in, talk, contributions, create account, login. So I can just do that after that one. So I'll say, okay, logged in. So not logged in, and now I can just and remember that I have used that pipe sign. So you can create a pipe sign just for purpose. So talk, and then pipe sign, contributions, then pipe sign, create account, and then pipe sign, and I'll say login. Now you see here, I'm talking about the header. So header has started to create. Of course, as I said, not like that, but of course, trying to imitate that one. And after that line, so after this not logged in line, I will create another line and just try to imitate few more things. So BR, I just come to the new line, and you see what was mentioned over here. It's article and talk, for example. So I'll just create, after this BR, I'll create article, and again pipe sign, and then talk again. And then I think I'll need to just give some spaces. Yes, I need to give some spaces. I'll just give some typical spaces over there. After that, so I'll just put that. I'll just give it certain spaces, and after certain spaces, what I can do, I can just, I'll just create this input box as well. Read, view source, view history. So I'll write read, pipe sign, view source, and view history. Now, after that, interestingly, I'll just create another pipe sign, And now I want to create that one. So I'll tell you the details later on, but right now just follow me up, and you can just write input, type text, and just add one more thing, size equal to 100, for example. I don't know. Let's check that if 100 works fine, or maybe it looks a bit bigger or smaller. What I'm trying to do is try to imitate that same thing. If you come over here, oh, it's very big. 100 is very, very big. So I'll say 20, like that. So now if I just take out this one from here, looks very gibberish, looks very, not very attractive. But do you understand the concept? Let me just put up another BR. So let's see. Now, do you understand the concept over here? That I am just trying to convert a page, a Wikipedia page, which is coming from this one, and we are trying to just, and of course, without help of CSS. When we'll have CSS, we'll remove all these things, we'll make them links, and we'll do all those things, all those kind of things. We'll be just, making a logo over here, and all those will be coming over there. And I'll be doing that, by the way, when we'll be discussing CSS. I will be talking about that, and I'll be doing that thing as well in our coming documents. So should I expect from you that you will be covering some more parts of it? Again, no worries about the styling. Bear with me. No worries about the styling. No worries about something. But try to do this practice of sup and super. And sometimes if there are certain symbols being made, I don't know if copyright symbol is created over there or not. Do you find that copyright symbol over there anywhere? Copyright. It's not there. But again, you can just do that practice, by the way. And you remember that you can just come over here, and in the footer, it usually comes in the footer. So maybe you can come over here and you say that copyright. And so for example, copyright, and you want to create that one. You remember that you have COPY. I think it was copy, something like that. So if you say copy, and you can say, for example, Mamana Cake, for example, I'm just making it for myself. So let's see here. So you see that copyright symbol is coming over there. So you can practice that symbols. You can practice lots of things by using this one. And this is one example that we have done. And I'll take a short break, and then after that break, I will be discussing another example. But did you enjoy this example? Like, you can do lots of practice by just taking a single page and try to imitate that page into your HTML. We are just talking about HTML. We are not talking about any styling. Don't worry about the size. Don't worry about the fonts. Don't worry about the stylings. And we'll talk about all those things when we talk about the CSS. Don't worry about this copyright is not coming in the middle. Don't worry. No worries about that. So let's take a quick break of 5 minutes, and I will be back after 5 minutes. And as I told you, I'm just repeating that now from now onward, we'll have our both sessions, and attendance will be marked for both sessions. And I will mark the attendance towards the end, right? So when we'll be ending our session, I'll mark that attendance. So right now, let's take a quick break, and then I'll be back with some more fun. I will be just, after this, I'll be taking another page, and I'll try to imitate that page as well for you. And you will all do that. Like, again, as I said, if you will do the styling stuff for styling, we'll just, use CSS later on, and I'll tell you how to do that one. So I'm just stopping here for 5 to 7 minutes. It's 3:18 in my clock, so I'll be back around 3:25 or 3:26, right? So you also have a break and take a refreshment. So yet another the same announcement that from now onwards, our both sessions will be counted as attendance, and I'll be online there. You can discuss your problems over there, but after that, of course, I would not be expecting you to send me the problems, because I'll be discussing those problems live with you over there. Okay, so this was something that we have done. We have just taken one cat article from Wikipedia and tried to just imitate that one way or other without any CSS, without much of the things. But of course, we see that we have just achieved few things. This was set aside, which is not there, of course, but that can also be just done or sent to that one. Now let's talk about another important website, which is Stack Overflow questions. You see that this is a page that I would like to talk about, and here I'll discuss some of the very important tags that we have discussed, elements that we have discussed today. So I will try to imitate this page now, and again, without any styling, without any things, but we'll try to just imitate that specifically, that the page over here. And you saw that we can just create, and we'll just create some new things over here. We'll talk about some buttons as well and things like that. So now what I said is that just park this Wikipedia page for yourself, because what I'll do is that when we will be using CSS very soon in next week, when we're discussing CSS, you will have to use this Wikipedia page, and then you'll be styling this page by yourself, right? So I'm parking this page somewhere, and then I'm saying Stack Overflow.html. So you can name anything, but I'm just creating a Stack Overflow page, something like this. Try to create that one. So now just take that boilerplate that we have. So first of all, let's talk about this. So I'm just closing this cat and all those one. So let's first of all see that newest questions Stack Overflow. That's written on that one, right? So let me just do that. So first of all, let's put that over here. Newest questions Stack Overflow. Right, let's run this document as well, so that we have got something running for us. So newest questions, so I've just tried to replicate those things. So newest questions and Stack Overflow, both are coming one way or other exactly almost the same when it comes to the title. Righto, so let's talk about this. This looks like a header again. This looks like header, this looks like a nav bar, and this looks like a main area, right? So here it looks very simple. This looks like a header. So let's start with this header. First of all, inside body, I'll come here and I'll say, okay, header. And header will first contain the logo. So again, we don't have any logo over here, but I'm just saying this logo Stack Overflow. So this will be a logo over there. Right. So again, now I want to give NBSP some space. Right. So I want to give some space over here, but again, this is all artificially created space. But you know that I've told you that when we'll be having CSS, we can just do that. Of course, organically we can do that, right? So this is not organic, by the way. So anyhow, if you see that now logo is Stack Overflow and there is some space coming over there, I'll just increase the space just to have something over there, right? So now after this NBSP, the first thing that should come over here is the products. So I'll come over here and I'll write products, and I write a pipe side as well. So if the products is coming, and after that there is again this text box, and you remember we have already done that text box, but I'll just do this again for you. Input type is equal to text, and let's say size is equal to 50. Let's check 50. If 50 looks good, 50 looks a bit more. Let me just make it 45. So size tells us that what is the size of the text box that you're creating. So this is the text box that is creating over there. So now we have got a text box over here, right, which is not looking exact, of course, exactly. Oh, I have not. Oh yeah, started recording. So which do not exactly looks like that, but of course looks much nearer to that one. Then we have two buttons over there. Now, how to create buttons? Just come over here and write button. And whatever you have to write in that one, write in between. So log in, the first button should be log in. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Wonderful. Wonderful. So who is that? Bhavi. So Bhavi, at least you are there, and you know that I'm not sharing my screen, and you are just telling me. Otherwise, you see that how rest of the people are attending, how attentively they are attending my lecture. That they don't even know that I'm not sharing the screen. Anyhow, no problems. Okay, so then we can have just sign up over here, right? So I want to create now these two buttons. So if you see here, now we have got two buttons. So you see here that I've just tried to create this one, and looks very good. Rather, it looks. What I'll do is that I'll just take it apart. And this looks good that we have a logo, then we have products or something. Of course, the spacing is an issue, and then log in and then sign up. Right? So we have just talked about that. Now, after that, let's take care of this linking over here. Again, navigation bar. Let's go back to there after this header. I'll come here and I'll say nav. And again, please remember that usually most of the times we'll create. And so what is the first li? Let me just see. So it should be home. The first li should be home. And the second li should be public, which is in caps, all caps. Right. The third li can be questions. And right now I'm just taking here, but you can, you can create another subtype of that one. But I'm just taking these tags and users as well over here. Right. So let's see what comes up. So something like this is coming up. The left link is coming up a bit. Then let's see that if that has a footer something. Let's go and check the footer. Yes, footer has some, something like this. So let me just, copy this one for the footer, and I'll paste that in the footer because that would be interesting. So after that, I'll just, and when our main will come, by the way, but I'm just placing this footer as well before that one. So now we have got a footer as well. Let's see, the footer is coming over here, and logo and all these things are coming. But again, that you can create them by yourself. Yes. So now comes the main section. Main section. So what is in main? Let's talk about that. So just see that what's in main. So in main, you see that first of all, a very big heading is coming, all questions. So now let's do this for us. That let's create all questions H1 over here. It's a very big heading. So let's say all questions, right? And let me just push that over here so that I can just see what. So all questions. So I just started to create this main section, and I just created all sections, all questions. Ask a question is a button. Let's try to use. You remember that H1 will never allow a button in front of it. You remember that? So what I'm doing is that just imitating that one, but just to show you that how you can do that. So but and I'll tell you how you change that. In CSS we can just change that behavior of this H1 as well. Ask question. So I've just given a button. Of course that button won't be in its original position, but this button is, suppose that this is over here, and of course it's not there. And by the way, I will tell you that how you can do that in CSS. Okay, ask questions. After that, there is some question number is written over there. So I'll come over there after this button, and rather I'll just make a BR. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen again. Why? How did it stop sharing? I think I missed, like I just by mistake I click on that one. Okay, thank you very much for letting me know. Anyhow, so now I've just returned that all questions is here. Ask a question, and then after that button, I want to have this text over there. So after that button, I'll just put a BR, and I'll put this one over there. So let's put that. So it's all questions, and then question numbers are coming. That how many questions are there? Oh, again stop. So what's going on? I think I'm by mistake. I'm clicking on something. I don't know what I'm clicking with there. But anyhow, let's see. If it again stops, just let me know. Right now are you able to see my screen, Rajan? Okay, thank you very much. Right. So now after that, there is this complete one, and I will just make these as we have just done that before. After this question, let me just put some break NBSPs over here, and I'll copy that one And then I'll just write newest, like, pipe sign, active, pipe sign, bountified, 300, pipe sign, unanswered, pipe sign, more, pipe sign, and then let's put a button of filter, right? I'll just put a button of filter. Even though, I'll bring that later on shortly, that how you can bring that icon, even that on the button. Oh my God. Again, it's constant try. Okay, I understand what's going on. Yeah, I can understand what's going on. Actually, there is this meeting link is disturbing me, and I will take this meeting out of my way. Hopefully now it will never be stopped. Okay, so you see here that I have got this this one over here, all questions, and then we have newest one, and then there is a filter. So again, I can just I can just increase the space over here, just to make it look bit more good. So you see newest, active, bountified, and all those filter is coming. Now the real part starts from here. Now if you see here, you will realize something, that let's for example, first of all, put an HR, because HR is coming over there. So let me just put an HR over there. And if I see that HR is coming over here, yes, HR has come. Now, if you see that here is a section being created on a page, this looks like a section. And if you just look thoroughly, this section is being repeating itself. This is just multiplication of this section. The content is changed, but the section remains the same. You know what I mean? So in that situations, what we do usually after this HR, what we do is we try to create a div. You remember we have talked about div today? We create a div. Now, since H1 was this heading, so it cannot be H1. I will try. And before that, there is small text written. So I'll just, first of all, I'll write that one. 0 votes, for example. 0 votes, 0 answers, 2 views, right? So I'm just, mentioning that one. And after that, I place an H2. Why? Because H1, I'm not placing H1. And I'll copy this one and paste it over here, right? After that, what I'll do, I'll copy all the text, whatever text is available. I'll just copy this one, and I'll say that it will come inside a paragraph. You know what I mean? So I've created a div, and inside that div, I've created these two things. If I come over here, you will see that now this looks like something like this, and looks good, because this looks like one of the section from this point to this point. Now, if you, as I said, so there is this another button, there are some links, and we can just work on that as well. But one thing that I want to remind you, so this was a div. Now, what I need to do, I will just do a very simple procedure over here. I'll copy and paste this div again. See here. And for that, I'll just see that this is only 3 views. I'm talking about the second one. And now let's change the heading over here. Control C. Control V, and change the text as well. Control C, and change the paragraph text. Control V, like that. So do you see that now I have 2 sections? And it's worth mentioning over here. Now what I'll do is that I'll just copy my div. I'll just copy my div and keep on pasting that one. And by the way, if there was are there HRs after that one? Oh yeah, so let's place an HR after that every div. After every div, let's place an HR. So I'll just copy this one, and I'll paste it after every div. Not after this div. Let's see at the top. Yeah, here I'll just place an HR. Here I'll place an HR. And that's that. Let's place an HR after the last content as well, so that I can see clearly my footer is starting from where, was which point. Now, do you see that? how interesting it is that the same thing has been repeated, and now we have just tried to create an HTML of our own. Right? So you see that now I just you can just copy all these questions and answers so that you can just say that. And as I said, I will be just telling you that. But you see that how much it usually it normally looks like more like that same my Stack Overflow page, a bit more like that. But of course, there is no styling, there is no something. But of course, this looks like very much like that one. So I would ask you to just keep this page as well for with yourself, because I would definitely love to have that with you. Now, having done that, I hope you got the basic idea of how to just try to just style the pages. But you see that most of the pages they look very different in their vision. But if you go down deep, you will find the same contents everywhere. So this same contents means I'm just talking about you will always find a header section in every page. You'll always find mostly a def section in the page. You'll mostly find a main section in every page. You'll find a lots of divs being running over there, because divs making the different sections for you, and then creating those sections. And not only that one, we give them ID and we can style them. And there are lots of interesting things that we can do by the way with that one. Understand, everyone? So if you understand, I'm about to give you a practice question for today. And this practice question is not only for you, as I said, because I'll be sharing this recording with other sections. So if you are looking at the video, you will be just covering that practice question. So now I'll just give this practice question that you have to attempt right now. I've just stopped my sharing of the screen. Now I will stop myself, right? And now I'll be sharing a page with you. Practice questions for this one. So there will be a few practice questions for you. Okay, so when doing these practice questions, please don't use the styling. First of all, first rule, you are not allowed to use any styling, be it style is equal to tag or anything, but you are not allowed to use that styling. Number one, will you keep this in mind, that you are not that you are. So I'm just giving at least one practice question right now, and you should be all doing that. But again, as I said, there will be no styling being used. Try to use only the HTML that we have discussed, or try to use only HTML5. Wherever you find HTML content, you can use that, but never use styling, because we have not done any CSS. So I don't want you to just work on any CSS. And I will be sharing this document with you shortly over here as well. And then I will just share that on my Teams as well. So I'll be just sharing that practice question with you here. Okay, here's the practice question. Yeah, Bhavi, I will share this video. Of course, definitely I'll share that, Bhavi, and I'll share the link with you, right? So this will be available to you. Yes. So here is the practice question that I want you to just attempt. And by the way, let me just share that over here. I'll attach that over here. Okay. Okay. So have you got the practice question? And I will just open it up like as a submission as well. You can just, whenever you are done, you can just submit that one. Try to find out the pictures by yourself. Have you got this practice question? Please let me know, and I'll share this practice question with everyone who is looking at this video maybe later on. So I'll share this with you as well. So download that one. There's a document, a Word document that has been created, but you have to create the equivalent HTML. Please remember the rule. You are not allowed to use any CSS styling. No styling used. Just bring the pictures. try resizing the pictures by using that width and height that I've talked about. You can just do these kind of things, and you can just work on that. Now, last thing that I want to just know: are you every one of you able to access that folder that I have shared for my code during that one? So can anyone let me know that are you able to access that lecture code folder, and you are able to access everything inside that lecture code folder till week 5 or week 6? Kush, can you just let me know? You remember that I have shared this lecture codes folder with you? So are you able to access that, and what do you see over there? Can someone just unmute for a second and let me know? Yeah, Kush, just see there and let me know that what's there. I'm just now stopping the recording. And by the way, again, before stopping the recording, as I've asked Kush to just look at that folder if they are able to access. So if you are the one who are unable to access, as I said, I will be meeting you again this week for second session for every section. So we can discuss that over there as well, right?